What's going on, everybody? It's Matt, Mr. 757, or now you could say 252. Hey, just wanted to get on here and talk about, are we thriving or are we surviving? And before I get to thriving or surviving, as you can see, I've changed the name of my channel because we are thriving in business and in life, and I wanted to make the channel something that was a little bit more appropriate with the Marine Corps retired background, with the business and the entrepreneurial spirit, and always trying to rank up. So my new channel, same channel as always, is now ranked up with Matt. All right. But I wanted to get on and talk a little bit about thriving or surviving. You know, there's lots of differences between being alive and truly living life. You know, survival keeps you, you wake up in the morning and you're breathing. All right. We're surviving. But thriving gives you a reason to wake up with the fire in your soul and the passion to go out and do something productive and positive. You know, we can define the differences. Surviving is about holding on. And, it's like, how am I going to make it through today? You're just holding on. You're surviving. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? But let's get into how you can change your mindset and shift it towards your thriving in life and business and being a parent and all these things, right? And then you got thriving, right? So we talked about surviving is holding on, and how am I going to make it through today, right? Every minute, every hour of every day, how am I going to make it? Surviving or thriving is about building forward, moving in a positive direction. How far can I go today? I wake up in the morning, and it's not about, just holding on or how you're going to make it. It's about how far can I go today, right? What impact can I make in my life, in my family's life, in my friends' lives? How can I make it today? How far can I go? I talk about that mindset shift. You have to adjust your mindset. Surviving, life feels like it's happening, right? Life is happening to you. Thriving, life happens for you and through you. Okay? Life happens for you and through you. And we talking about surviving and thriving and the habits and the actions. Surviving means putting out the fires. How many of us every day seem to be going and putting out one fire after another? And I don't mean a literal fire. I mean things that come up throughout the day that just seems like you're always having to put your attention to. You're always having to deal with, putting out fires. Thriving, on the other hand, is building fireproof systems in your life to help you get through, right? Build those fireproof systems so you can stop putting out the little fires in your life every single day. Every time something comes up, we tend to be more reactive than proactive, right? Don't have to be so reactive to things. You can't plant seeds when your hands are always busy swatting away emergencies, okay? You can't plant those seeds when your hands are always busy. It's like, I don't know what to do with my hands. But you got to be able to plant those seeds, all right? Look, thriving or surviving, okay? The energy equation, right? This is going from mindset to habits, building good habits, to changing the energy equation in your life. Surviving will drain you, but thriving multiplies you. The moment you stop fighting to just get by, You're going to unlock the energy to grow, to create, and to inspire others. All right. I put this together because I am guilty of sometimes getting in the moment and just surviving, right? Sometimes we start a business and we get in that mindset and it seems like we're putting out fires. Things are happening to us and we're not making the adjustments mentally and changing our energy to where we can stop putting out little fires and build those systems. And you got an emotional impact to thriving and surviving. In survival mode, you're exhausted, you're anxious, and you're just feeling like you're trapped. Do any of y'all feel these ways? Do you feel like you're trapped? Are you tired of being exhausted? Are you always anxious? These are things that we talk about whenever it comes to just surviving. And then in a thriving mode, you're fulfilled, you're confident, you're excited about what's next. What is next in life? Whether it's business, personal life, your family, you gotta be excited about where you're going and what is next. Moving forward, one step at a time in a positive manner, right? One life, one shot. Do you want to crawl through it or do you want to sprint? Okay. I really wanted to put this out there because so many of us are out here every single day and it seems like we're working overtime just to keep up. Life is about living, and we got to be able to go out there, change the mindset, change our energy, change the way our emotions are. So how can we move from surviving to thriving? Stabilize it. Take care of your foundation, take care of your health, your finances, and whatever relationships are to you, whether that is a relationship between you and your spouse, relationship with your girlfriend or boyfriend, or relationships in business. You want to take care of the foundations that you have started to build. Then you got to shift your mindset, right? I've said mindset like 3 or 4 times. We got to shift our mindset. Trade I have to for I get to. You wake up in the morning, it's like I have to do this. I have to do that. 2, waking up in the morning, I get to do this. I get to go do that. I get to inspire others, right? Surround yourself with builders. What is that one saying? Your net worth is your network. Surround yourself with other people that have that mindset of thriving. Surround yourself with people that you would eat dinner at the table with. I heard Conor McGregor said he wouldn't eat steaks with snakes, right? I think Conor McGregor is alluding to he wouldn't eat steaks with those that are trying to have a negative impact in his life. You want to surround yourself with builders, people who will pull you forward, not hold you down. You want to see beyond today. When you're in survival mode, it's right in front of you. That's like John Cena. You can't see me? Anyway, see beyond today. Set those goals. Short-term, mid-range, long-term, achievable goals. And you want to see past today and into the future of where you're going and what your life is going to be like. But set that in motion so you can start using your imagination on what it's going to be like in the future. Setting goals that scare you just enough for you to grow a little bit, right? Set those goals to be achievable, and then the big ones that really, really scare you, once you hit the little goals, you start building that confidence and you start overcoming those small goals and you start reaching for the big goals. And you're always taking constant action. Taking constant action. Thriving isn't luck, it's daily courage. Right? You gotta have daily courage. You have to believe in yourself. You have to know that in this moment is just temporary. You have bigger dreams, bigger aspirations, bigger goals. You're going to achieve the greatness in your life that you set out to. You do not have to survive and put out those fires every day. You don't have to live moment by moment. You are worthy of greatness. We all have greatness inside of us. It's doing the next steps to pull it out of you. So you want to take constant action. Look, when we're talking about thriving and surviving, stop asking, how do I get through the day? Start asking yourself, how do I make today count? Right? We don't want to just get through the day. And it honestly makes for a very long day when you're just getting through it. But how can I make the day count? How can today be the day that counts to make me catapult into the future and what I'm going to be doing? You weren't born to survive. You were born to thrive. Okay? You were born to be great. So if you're out there and you have a junk removal company, a power wash company, a landscape company, or whatever it is that you might be building, yes, you're going to have hard days. Yes, you're going to have little fires. But you got to start shifting your mindset on going from surviving the day to thriving and making every day count. Like I said, I wanted to make this video because I'm guilty of sometimes getting in the mindset where it seems like every day is something else. This goes wrong, that goes wrong. You know, I can't seem to get my brain to win some days, and then sometimes it spirals out of control to where you're just in a rut. You got to change your mentality. You got to change the way you think, and you have to understand that you are truly worth greatness and you're truly worth thriving. Right? When you just start a business, it's not easy. It's not easy having to deal with things that you've never dealt with. Maybe, you know, you started a business and you've had some really rough customers where you've given estimates, they said no. You don't like to hear the word no. Maybe you started off and you're lost. You don't really know where to go from, okay, I created my business. Now what do I do? You just got to put one step in front of the other, one foot in front of the other, right? Baby steps. We got to crawl before we walk. We got to walk before we run, and we got to run before we sprint. Every day, I challenge you to put yourself in a position to be better the next day, and then the next day after that, and the next day after that, to where you've created this mindset, you've created this system in place where you're eventually thriving in life, thriving in business. Okay? I could be down in the dumps right now. I've made a lot of moves silently, right? Only a few people close to me know what I'm doing. We're out here with the daggone wannabe Hurricane Aaron on the East Coast here in Virginia and North Carolina. I can use that as an excuse. We can make excuses all day long for why we can't, but it's not helping you build for a better tomorrow. So let's just think about how we can get to surviving to thriving, what it takes for us to get there. And this is honestly what I did. I got tired, so I wrote down, right? I carry a notebook. I write down notes to myself. I created a list of things that I want to accomplish, and then I just start marking them off every day or every week. And I know that as much as I want to get to the promised land quickly and get to that thriving point quickly, it takes work. It takes a lot of mental effort. It takes a lot of physical effort. None of this is going to be easy for you when you start changing your mindset. But when you get to that point and you're thriving in all aspects of life, you're going to feel better. Your mood's going to change. You're going to be more positive. You're going to be making an impact while you're making an income. Okay? We are out here every day as human beings trying to be better. Sometimes it doesn't feel like we're ever going to get anywhere. Sometimes it feels like, you know what, I'm at the very bottom. I've hit rock bottom. But guess what? If you think you're at rock bottom, there's only one way to go, and that's up, right? Have faith in yourself. Have a belief that you're going to make it. Use the positive words, affirmation words to remind you that you're a badass, that you're successful, that you're good at what you do. That, hey, even though I'm here right now, I'm going to be in a different place, and it's going to be better. Not too long off. So, if y'all don't take anything out of this video, just know that everybody struggles. And just because we see the rich billionaires all over TV, that doesn't mean you can't get there, right? Maybe you don't want to be a millionaire. Maybe you just want to be a thousandaire, right? Maybe that entrepreneurial spirit, you just got to hone it in. You got to get your ducks in a row before you move forward. So I talked about it in the first video that I made after a while, like a couple days ago, where I've been making a lot of moves, right? I got the junk removal company running pretty decent up in Virginia, hands off pretty much, other than social media, advertising, right? I'm building a junk removal company. I got one in Eastern North Carolina, and learning from my past mistakes, I'm building it slowly so I have a great foundation to kind of take off from there, right? But I also got a job, because I know that while all this is going on, I would greatly appreciate a little extra income to kind of help me boost the businesses to where I want them to be. And I have dreams and goals. And even with somebody like myself, I'm in the mid 40s in my life. Some of you are older. Some of you are way younger. You can't think about what was. Let's think about where we're at right now, where we want to be. Don't worry about what age you are. Age isn't nothing, right? Age, if you're older, you have a lot of life experience. Use that. If you're young, get a mentor. There's nothing wrong with having a mentor, and be able to bounce ideas off your mentor. Learn from somebody that has experience in life, in business, right? There's nothing wrong with that. That's not taking the easy way out. That's being mature enough to know I need to learn from somebody more experienced, okay? Doesn't necessarily have to be a mother or a father. It could be somebody in business that you see is doing successful things, that are doing positive and making impactful decisions in their life to boost their business, to boost their life, right? Ranked Up with Matt. That's the name of my YouTube channel now, because I'm more than just anchors away junk removal. Marine Corps retired, entrepreneur. I would like to say I dabble in a few different things, but I'm not scared to learn. I'm not scared to try something new. I want to try to figure out how every day I can get better to make every day a little bit more positive, right? So I appreciate y'all following me. I appreciate you watching the videos. Continue to subscribe to Ranked Up with Matt. I'm Matt. I'll be your host. And if you have questions or comments, please leave them down below. I love reading comments. I like hearing from people. And if all these videos that I make help one person, then that's all I care about. That's all I care about. If I can help one person, right, at minimum, one person, that's what I'm shooting for. If it's more than one person, then hell yeah, I'm all about it. But until the next video, I appreciate y'all watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Like the video. And I hope you watch till the end. Until the next time, let's get out of that surviving mindset and let's go out there and thrive in life, business, and in general. And I'll see y'all on the next video. Till then, thank you.